In the mysterious and vast universe, what is the strangest celestial object you have ever seen? Perhaps your first thought would be the famous pillars of creation. Sarial, enormous nebula located within our galaxy. It lies at the heart of the Eagle Nebula, MADSE, about 6,500 light-years away from Earth. To clearly observe this marvel, scientists used space telescopes operating beyond Earth's atmosphere. In the vacuum of space where observations are not distorted by atmospheric interference, a historic image was captured. In this rendered image, countless brilliant stars shine like precious jewels. They resemble gemstones scattered across a black velvet cloth of the universe, with their incredibly unique and dazzling forms. The pillars of creation deeply captivate not only astronomers but also ordinary people with no background in astronomy. According to observational data, the structure is composed of 3 gigantic columns of gas and dust. The tallest pillar reaches up to 5 light-years in height and about 1 light-year in width. These colossal structures rise dramatically against the infinite backdrop of the cosmos, showcasing the universe's overwhelming grandeur. However, in reality, the pillars of creation are far from static. Essentially, this is a stellar nursery. Gas and dust within the pillars continuously collapse under their own gravity, gradually forming protons. In this sense, the pillars of creation can be understood as a star-making factory, nurturing the birth of new stars. Originally, these pillars were simply part of a massive molecular cloud. Their current shapes are mainly the result of nearby massive stars. These stars emit intense radiation and powerful stellar winds, which strip away the thinner and less dense parts of the nebula. If this sounds abstract, imagine the pillars of creation as a sand sculpture in a desert. The radiation and stellar winds from nearby massive stars are like strong winds. The loose sand is blown away, while the denser, sturdier parts remain, forming the shapes we see today. Inside these finger-like columns, gravity causes dense regions of the molecular cloud to clump together. Eventually, they ignite, forming a series of brand new stars, often at the tips or edges of the pillars. Some small protruding knots can be seen extending from the columns. The scientific term for these knots is evaporating gaseous globules. They are essentially stellar embryos. These clumps contain the highest concentrations of matter within the pillars. They are dense enough to withstand the intense radiation from nearby stars. Once the surrounding gas is blown away, these small cores become fully exposed. In 2014, the Hubble Space Telescope captured wider and sharper images, and through comparison, scientists discovered subtle changes in the pillars of creation over more than 20 years. For example, jets of material ejected from a newly formed star had extended noticeably. Although the change appears small, it actually spans 96.5 billion kilometers. What does 96.5 billion kilometers mean? It is equivalent to the Earth orbiting the Sun 102 times. If we were to fly this distance at a speed of 900 kilometers per hour, it would take about 14,000 years. This astonishing scale once again proves that intense star formation is actively taking place inside the pillars of creation. In 2022, the James Webb Space Telescope captured the most detailed images ever taken of this region. Webb used near-infrared cameras to peer through the dust that obscures young stars. The resulting colors were even more vivid than those seen by Hubble. Near-infrared light can penetrate gas and dust, allowing the pillars to appear semi-transparent through Webb's lens. Hubble observed celestial objects glowing in visible light at temperatures of thousands of degrees. In contrast, Webb primarily observes cooler objects with temperatures of only a few hundred degrees. The nebula pillars are adorned with newly born red stars glowing within, sparkling like rubies. Blue stars represent more mature stars that have shed their dusty envelopes. In 2024, NASA combined data from Hubble and Webb to create a 3-dimensional visualization. From this perspective, scientists discovered that the pillars of creation actually consist of 4 pillars, with one previously hidden due to viewing angle. In addition, an adjacent tower-like structure was identified, reaching 9.5 light-years in height, and with a width more than twice the distance from the Sun to Proxima Centauri. However, as breathtaking as this cosmic wonder is, it may no longer exist today. Based on observational evidence, A nearby supernova is believed to have exploded close to the pillars of creation. Given the distance of 6,500 light, it is highly likely that the pillars were destroyed by the supernova's shockwave around 6,000 years ago. Due to the finite speed of light, the pillars of creation are at least 6,500 light-years away from Earth. This means the images we captured today are actually images of what they looked like 6,500 years ago. If humanity wishes to witness their destruction, we would need to wait another 500 years. From a cosmological perspective, the farther we observe into space, the closer we look toward the Big Bang. The most distant galaxies observable today are about 13.2 billion light-years away. These are nearly the first galaxies formed after the birth of the universe. In essence, cosmology is the study of the universe under the constraint of the speed of light. Even the sun we see is the sun of 8 minutes and 30 seconds ago, let alone these distant celestial bodies. The collapse of the pillars of creation reveals one of the most common scenes in cosmic evolution. Nebulae are both the cradles of newborn stars and, ultimately, the graveyards of aging stars, shaped by the constant tug-of-war between gravity and radiation. Matter never truly disappears, it simply changes form. From coal dust collapsing into the fiery cores of nuclear fusion, then being scattered back into deep space as heavy elements after supernova explosions. The universe is, in a sense, a time machine. By exploiting the delay imposed by the speed of light, it preserves a record of stellar evolution spanning thousands of years for humanity to observe. The magnificent image we see today may only be a snapshot from 6,500 years ago, but the new generations of stars born within it will continue to release energy and shape the cosmos for billions of years to come. This transformation from chaotic clouds to orderly stars is the ultimate secret behind the universe's enduring ability to renew itself endlessly.